Perfect tension bars allow your case creation scroll frames to be much tighter. Unlike a normal sidebar, you'll see that there's a mechanism that allows it to move. When you get the perfect tension sidebars, the wood insert is at the top of the opening and you need to lower this. In my example here, I've already mounted my fabric into my rods and into the frame. So I need to do this while it's already mounted in there. Unscrew it so that you can drop it to the bottom. It's easier to get the wood insert positioned if you do this before you mount your work. So unscrew the long bolt while pulling down on the wood insert. There's quite a lot of play in this and it will take quite a bit of twisting before it will drop all the way to the bottom. Pull it down with both your finger and your thumb just to make sure it's at the bottom. Check it, keep doing that until you get it in the right position. Then repeat this with the second one. You want to make sure that both of the bars have the wood insert all the way to the bottom. With your fabric or whatever material you're using mounted on the rod, you want to now put this into the bars. There are 3 holes, one in the wood insert, one in the middle, and one at the bottom. The one in the middle is to attach it to one of the mini K's scroll frame holders. Then what you want to do is, after you've mounted that in there, put on the bolt and one of the tri-knobs. Repeat this for the top as well as the bottom. And then you're going to do this with the other side as well. You don't need to tighten it particularly tight at this point because you're going to still be able to need to move the rods to get the fabric tight. So now that you've done one side, flip it, add the other perfect tension bar, putting the hole in the right position so that you can actually put your rod there, and then put your rod in the bottom one and repeat the process. Now that you've got your work mounted into both of the perfect tension bars, you want to be able to actually start rolling up your work. The canvas is loose at this point, so I need to tighten both the top and the bottom. I work with my fabric so that I'm rolling towards the front of it. That way, so what I'm touching when I'm holding it is the back. Also, if I happen to drop the piece, it's the back of my work that touches either the floor or the table and not the front of my work. Roll it up. Try to get it as tight as you can, and you'll notice I've kind of leaned over it a bit. I lay this on a table when I do this, and I actually use my body to hold the bottom part in position because my hand on these bigger bars isn't long enough to reach it. So tighten the lower knobs and then tighten the upper knobs, and then just keep repeating that as you need to. So now that I've got the first pass done, I'm going to actually make several more passes. Basically, what you want to do is check the play in the fabric, see how tight it is, see if it's tight enough for what you want, and then repeat the process. And to do that, what you want to do is hang on to the rod, loosen the tri-knobs slightly, and roll again as tightly as you can to try and get most of the play in the fabric out. Now that I've gotten the fabric mounted as tight as I can get without adjusting the adjustable part, I do start doing that. So I'm going to turn the upper knob an equal number of turns on one side, flip it and do an equal number of turns on the other side. I just do usually less than about 10 so that I can actually keep track of it, and just keep repeating that until you get it as tight as you possibly want it. It's going to be different from person to person. It's going to be different from project to project. Canvas doesn't tend to stretch quite as much as, say, cross-stitch fabric does. So just kind of tap the back of it, see whether or not it's as tight as you want, and if you want to, adjust it again. So do equal number of turns left and right, and just keep repeating that until you want. Then, as you work on your project, repeat this as you need to. There's enough play in the opening that you can actually get this quite a bit tighter as you work on it. So as your work progresses and it gets loose, you can get it as tight as possible. Happy stitching!